Hello, bonjour, namaste, ni hao, and oh hi everybody, what is going on? It is Galeriot here, and welcome back to the YouTube channel once again for another Danmachi video. And today we are going to be doing something I wanted to do ages ago, but due to various reasons and various factors, I completely forgot about doing it. And well, because Danmachi Battle Chronicle is celebrating Argonaut Day in a couple of hours time, actually now by the time I'm recording this video, and by the time this goes up, it'll only be a couple of hours away from the game having the Argonaut Day campaign. I decided that this time would be better than no other time. Now, of course, if you guys didn't know, a couple of months ago, obviously as part of the 10th anniversary, the Argonaut story was being published as light novels. Of course, we got volume 1 and volume 2, but of course with the release of volume 2, they decided to release a luxury special edition that combined volume 1 and volume 2 into one book, a hardcover book, and it also added some additional goodies. Now, of course, you can still buy this luxury special edition off of websites like Play Asia. You can also go onto eBay and buy them. You get these sort of like things as well, these dioramas, I guess they're called, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on what they're called, but you can get these dioramas. You get the special cover as well featuring Argonaut, Orna, Fina, and Ariadne. But along with that, there is a special letter written by Omori Sensei that details exactly what happened to Argonaut after the events of the main story. Of course, we know that he was looking for Epimetheus. We know that he faced a lion as well, but we don't know all the details. And in all honesty, the reason why I forgot about making this video in the first place is that Omori himself asked very kindly on Twitter if people wouldn't post the image of the letter to Orna that comes out with the special edition. But I thought at the time, you know what, I'll respect his wishes. I'm not gonna mention a single thing about the letter whatsoever, or even talk about it, because of course it's supposed to be something limited to those who bought the special edition. Now, of course, it's been a couple of months. I feel like we can now talk about it more freely. At the time, I thought I'd wait for like a month or a month and a half and then talk about it, but due to things happening IRL and everything, I just completely forgot about it. This takes place 9 months ago. This was just as I was looking for a place to stay, and also I was just getting stuff done in terms of job applications and stuff like that. So I completely kind of put this in the back of my mind. Dancro, I think, also released at this time as well, so all my focus was on that as well. But of course, with the Argonaut Day campaign happening, and I realized some people didn't even know about this letter as well when I actually was streaming a couple of days ago. So I decided, you know what, let's talk about the letter. It's been a couple of months since that has happened, and also as an English native speaker and reader, of course, who knows if we'll get this letter, because again, at the end of the day, it's up to Yen Press to be able to provide us with this special edition, including the letter. So we don't know if we'll even get it. So that's the reason why I want to talk about this letter. I want to break it down. I want to talk to you guys and see what you guys have to say down below in the comment section below. Of course, once you watch the entirety of this video and actually see the letter for yourselves. And of course, if you guys want to enjoy this video as well, remember to leave a like down below, and of course, subscribe to the channel for more content. And yeah, like I said, let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm quite curious to see what people have to say about this whole Argonaut letter to Orna. Of course, it breaks down a lot of information, and it gives us an idea on exactly what happened to Argonaut in the latter parts of his life, of course. Now, the thing is, right, a lot of people may not know exactly what happened, but of course, we know that the 4th anniversary kind of retconned a little bit of the ending of the Argonaut story. Originally, when we, finished off the Argonaut main story, right, during the 2nd anniversary of Danmemo. Remember, Argonaut was a story written for Danmemo first and foremost, and then it got pushed into being a light novel. But when the story first came out on Danmemo during the 2nd anniversary, we thought that at the end of the story, Argonaut had unfortunately met his demise to a lion. That's what we thought, right? That's what we thought. We thought, once the story was done and dusted, he met his demise to a lion. The first hero of the Age of Heroes died due to a lion, right? Well, then obviously him making his appearances in subsequent collaborations, events, and so on and so forth, and then culminating in the 4th anniversary, retconning it basically by saying Epimetheus was present, and of course Argonaut was looking for him. changed a lot of stuff, and this letter sort of leans into that and explains exactly what happened. Now, of course, like I said, this is technically spoilers, and of course, if you guys don't want to read it and if you guys are holding out for the special edition, I would say look away right now, because of course, you know, people may not want to get spoiled on the special letter. Like I said, maybe if Yen Press gets off their asses and decides to provide us with the special edition as well, and whenever they want to actually start the Argonaut light novel adaptations, we're still on a stray record, right? So whenever they want to start that, they might want to give out the special edition. So if people want to wait, all that's all well and good. I'm giving you guys a little bit of time to basically click off the video, but I am going to switch over in 3, 2, 1, boom. Okay, thankfully those spoiler tags. I didn't remember. I wasn't sure if there were spoiler tags or not. So, of course, you still have a little bit of time to step away. But, of course, this is going to be quite interesting to read for a lot of people, I feel. And to me, I think it's just going to be good to revisit it, because there are some details that I think I've forgotten as well, and I want to go through it with you guys. So let's check it out. Dear Orna, I'm writing this letter under the night sky with Fina's help. She told me that by a chance a star had passed through the sky. Then suddenly I remembered that you used to be a fortune teller who read the stars. You might look grumpy and say don't be stupid, but thanks to the whisper of the stars that I can feel on my skin, I feel that this night I can feel you closer. If there were stars shining in the sky that you were looking at, I would be happy if you could take the place of those invisible eyes and predict our future. Today there was no progress in this. According to the few written sources, it is certain that the shrine is built on the land where we are now, but I can't find it. Even though Fina used magic, she couldn't find a clue. I wondered if there would be something that could be called a seal, which would prevent anyone from entering or even perceiving the sacred place. It exists. I can feel it, perhaps because my senses are sharper even though I can't see. Perhaps more power than fairies or spirits permeates this land. Although I can't see it, or couldn't see it, it is said that the Sea of Madeira is as spectacular as the rumors say, and I believe that there is a sacred place that lies in the Sea of Oinland, where the sound of the waves sounds. Kind of interesting saying there, of course. I spoke to Fina, but I plan to return to Lucrios. Even if you come, even that terrifying older sister will probably come with you. Almina, he's referring to here. It looks like Ariadne's worries will increase. Are you doing the same? I also heard that the Central Nations Alliance repelled a large monster invasion, and I don't think it's important since it's about you, but I don't want Yuri, Agalmus, Elmina, and Riolu to try too hard. With my current work, I'm sure they'll feel uncomfortable. And you? Does Ariadne no longer cry? To be honest, no matter how many words I write, I worry that this letter will not hurt you. I don't want to break my promise to send you a letter, but although you can't see anything in front of me, you flambeous. I can't get the tears off my head forever. As for me, no. Today I also made Frina cry. She laughed and I told her she looked like a flower. Then she desperately held back her sobs. No matter how much I hugged her and apologized, I couldn't help but let the tears drip down my neck. I hurt her again. I hate myself for not being able to remember her as my irreplaceable sister. I have to tell you, unfortunately, there are no signs that the Argonaut's memories will return. I think the Argonaut you know disappeared the same day they killed the lion. The authority of the lightning took me away from the death I should have faced. In exchange for the memories and personality of the man known as Argonaut, I'm sure it is a price worth paying to twist fate. It is a miracle that is equivalent to cutting off the soul. What remains of me must be the truth, something that is not the remains of Argonauts or the dregs of him. I'm so sorry, but I can't let you keep waiting for Argonaut. There are no more dancing clowns. However, I will laugh. There is no need for tragedy. If I were sad and twisted, it would be much less likely that you would smile. But I don't think that's right. I also want to believe that a smile is a fragment of hope that will illuminate the tomorrow. So Orna, I want you to laugh too. Although these eyes cannot show anything, I want to feel your smile. I want to see your smile. And still, I will do my best. Although I can no longer perform the comedy of saving you, my goal is to bring as many people as possible to the end of the myth. I swear it by the name you have all given me, Guide. I pray that under the same sky, a smile may bloom on your lips. Lips, oh my god. That is the biggest misspeaking ever I've done. Looking at the stars of Madeira from Navis, the guide. Damn. Of course, this, I mean, it's been a while since I've read this as well, so you can tell, like, even I was like, damn. But this was the letter to Orna. It kind of confirms some of our theories and ideas as well, of course, right? And at the same time, it also explains so much more. Of course, one of the biggest things to note, right? Of course, if you have not read the Argonaut light novel in a while or anything of that sort, right? Is first and foremost, he's gone blind. Argonaut went blind at the end of the Argonaut main storyline that we know and love, right? Because of course, at the end of the day, using a spirit like Jupiter and the power of the gods without any blessing or anything, it does cost a lot. It's not as simple as you can just take it and sustain it. It is very damaging to the body, and it initially costed his eyes, right? And then of course, using it again against the lion, which he survived, it took a lot more than just that. And that is where I think it makes sense as to why the story or the tale from yesteryear and stuff like that mentions that Argonaut died with the lion, because he did die with the lion. He did die with the lion. His memories, his entire being effectively died with the lion effectively. That's the idea behind this. Now, what I will say, of course, is that even towards the end of his story, right, even if he forgot who he was, he still could remember that personality he had, that hero-like behavior he had, which shows that even with the death of the death of the Argonaut, there's still him as well. That nonetheless, he's still present. And it also goes to also explain a little bit about Belle as well, because remember, we always say when and this is a theory that was even mentioned, I think, in the storyline as well, to a degree as well, in Knights of Fianna, I think it was, or something along those lines. I think it was in one of those stories. But when you are reincarnated, you still technically have the soul of the previous incarnation, right? And we all know that Belle is effectively an incarnation of Argonaut, effectively, right? Well, what if him losing his memories is the reason why Belle has that pure white soul, right? Because of how, the Argonaut basically passed away with nothing to his identity, effectively. He was an empty canvas, effectively, right? At the end of the day, all he had was the stories that Fina would be, giving him here and there, Fina being his sister, of course, the incarnation of Lafia, of course, giving him bits and bobs there, but for the most part, he's just an empty canvas, right? And if Fina is gonna give him some of the stories that shine him in a brighter light, a purer light, of course, that's gonna also, and take his best qualities, that's obviously going to help him a lot as well. So I think it's quite fascinating to me as to how Omori has effectively retconned it to make Argonauts still be that iconic hero, of course, and even more of an iconic hero than he already was, arguably, because obviously after the events of Argonaut, hearing that he died to a lion, it felt like a joke, but at the same time, we all accepted it as well, because it just made sense. It's Argonaut. The way he behaves, the way his character is, the way his being is. He's not an outright hero. He's not got the strength of the hero. Yes, he's blessed by his spirit, but he's not an outright hero. What makes him a hero is his personality and his morals, right? It's his morals. Sorry, not morals. Morals. That's what makes him Argonaut, right? So, to be honest, I'm very, very, very happy that this came out. To be honest, I remember reading it the first time and I was like, damn, that explains so much more. And it also kind of the whole Epimetheus thing, right? We were talking about, right, earlier on, him trying to find Epimetheus' shrine. This is the fact. This letter basically was explaining that he's still trying to find it. He's still looking for it and all that jazz. One of the things that people need to know, right, is that when it comes to the 4th anniversary, one of the biggest issues a lot of us had were some of the plot inconsistencies, and especially in this was a bit of an inconsistency to us at the time, with the Argonaut situation and stuff. Now, I don't know if Omori felt the same way or what. Maybe he wanted to add it to the 4th anniversary story. Who knows? Ares Vesta, that is, right? We don't know. But of course, this letter helped that a lot. It really helped it. I remember talking to some of my friends and we were like, yeah, this really does help it and explains a lot more about Epimetheus and Argonaut's backstory and explains a lot of that as well. The thing is, right, as well, is while the 4th anniversary is technically non-canonical, it kind of is in the same timeline as Arrow of Orion, kind of. It's stories, the Epimetheus backstory and everything is still canonical, so this would have happened no matter what. So this part is canon, of course, right? But no, I'm very, very, very Happy that, this was done by Mori Sensei. I think he did a fantastic job with this letter. It explains so much. It is heavy. It's emotional. It's phenomenal. And I can't wait for Argonaut Day on Dawn Crow, of course, as well, because again, it just obviously is such the Argonaut is probably one of the most favorite characters in Danmachi for a lot of people, right? I think everybody loves Argonaut quite a lot. Even if, you may not like Bell, Argonaut himself is such a iconic character and is a beloved character in the community. His story was phenomenal. It was the first epic tale we truly got in Danmachi, of course, or in danmemo, I should say. Specifically Danmachi, of course, we've gotten multiple tales, but danmemo, obviously we had Grand Day, and of course Winter Magic Miracle, but Argonaut, a new story, fresh story, Mori's very own work, and also a canonical prequel to the entire series. I mean, like, come on, it's not even funny. It's not even funny how good this is to see, and how how much it changes, as well as also it doesn't change a lot, but it just boosts Argonaut in our minds. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I'm curious to see what you guys have to say down below. I would love to see your thoughts on it, and maybe I might do like a community reaction to the letter as well. But this video I wanted to kind of dedicate to my thoughts and what I thought about the letter more so than anything else. So I'd love to see what you guys have to say down below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please be sure to leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel for more content, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, take it easy, everybody. Bye-bye.